Vanessa Van Edwards.
Hmm.
For someone that's just clicked on this conversation now, and they're wondering why they should stay and listen to what we're going to talk about, what would you say to them?
Very highly successful people speak a hidden language, and that is the language of cues. If you don't know how to read the cues people are sending to you, if you don't know how to control the cues you're sending to others, you are missing a crucial element of success.
How do you quantify that in a way that I know that it's true? Are there studies or stats that reinforce what you've just said?
82% of our impressions of people are based on warmth and competence. That means that if we can control our warmth cues and our competence cues, we know we are taking care of 82% of our impression. And that is critical to being more memorable, to being more confident, to having clear communication.
And taking that a bit further, what areas of my life will that impact? So if I'm warm and I'm competent, which you're telling me are things that I can control, what are the downstream consequences of that?
So I think my mission is to tackle a big lie. And that is that smart people will translate their book smarts into people smarts. But actually, no matter how smart you are, if you do not know how to communicate with people, you can't connect with people, you can't have good relationships, you can't have supportive friendships, you get looped into difficult people or toxic people, you have trouble getting raises or promotions. When you are able to control your communication, it helps you not be overlooked, not be misunderstood, and that affects your friendships, your partner, your career, and it also helps you feel more confident walking into a room.
It's so interesting because as you were speaking, something came to mind, which I was reading about in your work, which is you're really good at what you do. You're like very good as a guest on a podcast and just as a professional generally. And as I was thinking this, I was saying to myself, I'm sure she knows. And I'm sure she can tell from my face that I think she's good. But it's funny because in your work, you say that we overassume people can read us.
Yes.
So like when I was thinking, oh, she's so good. And in your work, it says that I was doing it. I was assuming you knew how I felt about you.
Mm.
But in your work, you also make the case that I should say it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's an effect where we think that people know how we feel. Specifically, it's called signal amplification bias. There's a name for this study, which is that we think our signals are obvious. That if we like someone or if we're having a good time, we think, oh, they for sure know it. They don't. Oh, the 3 magic phrases, we never finish them. That's why you say, I was just thinking of you. That's a way of assuring someone, I do think of you. Only if it's true. The second one is, you're always so if you're with someone and you're impressed by them or they're interesting or they're funny, saying, oh, you always make me laugh. You're always so interesting. You're always so great to interview. You're always so great at interviews. Giving them a label that is a positive label is the best gift you can give someone because it's fighting that signal amplification bias. And the last one is, last time we talked, you mentioned, we are so honored when we get brain space that you remembered and that you're going to bring it up. And you specifically bring up something that they lit up with. Something they were like, oh, it was great. It was exciting. It was wonderful. Those are my 3 magic phrases. And it's because they are fighting that signal amplification bias. I have no idea if you like this interview. I have no idea if you like my work. I have no idea. And the more that you can broadcast those symbols, those signals, the more people actually like you.
So what advice would you give me then as an interview? I guess I'm an interview host of the show. Because people come here, sometimes they're nervous. You know, we have people come in there, some people come in there nervous a little bit. And I always want to make them feel comfortable. But as you said, I probably don't rank that high on warmth. So it doesn't come that natural to me. I'm not the kind of person that comes out and is like, hiya, welcome. And like, hey.
And that would be off-brand for you.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be authentic.
No, it would be off-brand for you. Right, it's too much. Okay, so 5 warmth cues.
Okay.
So for those of you who are listening, the 5 power cues I just shared, those are if you think you are really high in warmth, but you worry that people don't take you seriously, you're worried that people ignore you, you get interrupted in meetings. I want you to use those 5 power cues if that's you. Now I'm going to teach you 5 warmth cues. If you have ever been told you're intimidating, hard to talk to, cold, if you often feel like people are holding back or not opening up to you, I want you to use these 5 warmth cues. This is dialing up your thermostat. Okay, these are for you too. First, we love a triple nod. Research has found that if we do a slow triple nod, the other person speaks 67% longer. So as an interview, this is a great cue. Watch, so here's my triple nod is, We love it. It's like a nonverbal ... It's like, tell me more, Tell me more. Now, be careful. Don't bobblehead. So you don't want to do it too much. Right. That's too high in warmth.
Okay.
And second, you don't want to do it too fast. Too fast of a triple nod is impatience.
It means shut up.
Yeah. So if you want someone to wrap a question, that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's exactly
right. So here's for everyone watching. Here's good. Here's please hurry up.
Yeah, that's shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. And it works. It's a really nice way of saying, please wrap, please end. So I love a warm triple nod, but you have to be careful with it. Okay, so that's cue number 1. Second, a head tilt. So universally, if we're trying to hear something, we tilt our head up and we expose our ear, right? We're as if we're saying, what was that? Like dogs do this when they're like, "Meow, meow," and they expose their ear. Humans also do this across cultures because it's kind of a way that we're like, oh, I'm listening to this. Research has found that if you deliver bad news with a head tilt, you are more likable. So people take the news better if you deliver bad news with a slight head tilt because it literally makes you look more warm. It literally makes you look like you're listening. Now, I only want you to do this when you're actually listening, but a head tilt is also a way that you can slightly add warmth to your conversation or to your interview or to your date. Okay, so we're gonna go back to so we don't wanna go too far. That looks weird. A little weird, right? Not too much. And I also like to teach a head tilt to my highly warm folks who are bobbleheaders. So if you're like, oh, I do this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a bobbleheader. I'm a recovering bobbleheader because I like people to like me, right? So I'll nod too much. If you are a bobbleheader, you can train yourself to replace it with the head tilt because it's physically impossible to head tilt while you nod. So if you're a bobbleheader, just head tilt.
Okay.
Head tilt.
There's something about the head tilt which it signals they care.
Yeah.
And they're empathetic.
Yeah.
There's I don't know what it is about someone's head tilt that, because if someone was firing me and they were doing it like this, I feel like they don't care. There's something ruthless. But if they do it like this, it's like,
you really care about me.
That's so crazy. Just such a small.
That one little thing. You know that you mentioned the book, The Game?
Yes.
I know a lot about that world. And there's a funny trick they teach, which I'll teach you. It's not part of my warmth cues, but I'm going to teach it to you because I think it's interesting. Don't let anyone use this on you. Okay.
And nobody at home use this on anyone else.
Don't use this on anyone else. But so there's this thing that NLP people will do or pickup artists will do where they move their hand like this and the other person will begin to nod because typically when we do this with our hand, the other person starts to nod, which makes you think, I agree, I agree, I agree.
What are you doing for anyone that is watching?
I'm moving my hand up and down in a nodding yes motion. And so what I've noticed very manipulative people will do is they'll be doing this. They speak like, don't you understand what I'm saying? Do you get this? And the other person will start to nod. And I've seen entire audience will start nodding. And then you think to yourself, well, I'm nodding, so I must agree with this person. It's a secret way to get someone to secretly agree with you. So just be careful and make sure no one uses that on you.
And you're doing it in a bit of a circular motion.
Right,
it looks
circular
like.
motion.
It's not straight up and down. You're just kind of like, for anyone that can't see, she's...
Like we're rolling something forward. And then you're like, it's really hard to not nod your head when someone's doing this, which then makes you feel like you agree with them.
That's so crazy. It's like you've got like a string on my head.
A string on your head. It's very weird. So don't let anyone do that to you. And don't use it.
Don't use it on anyone.
I don't teach it in my books because it's like, I'm worried that people...
It's too powerful.
It's too powerful. Okay, triple nod, head tilt, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Third, we already talked about this one, an authentic smile, right? A smile that reaches all the way up into your eyes. Highly warm people typically do that authentic smile more. Now, I don't like a fake smile, so I only want you to do it when you're authentic.
What's wrong with that? That was my authentic smile. You laughed. This is why I don't smile. This is why people think I'm intimidating, because people laugh at my smile. Look.
That's good. That was better. That was better. That was better.
I can tell you're lying. Mrs. Body Language, I can tell you're lying.
That was better. That was better than the first one.
Better than the first one. That doesn't mean it's good. Well, I'm looking for good.
Anyway, number 4 is...
So authentic smells number 3.
Authentic smells number 3. Number 4, we love a lean. Ooh, we love a lean. When in the proxemic zones, right, we're in those 4 zones, if someone's leaning into you, it shows they're literally trying to cross into that zone very, very subtly. And so you'll notice very highly charismatic people who you want to be friends with, they'll be like, tell me more. Tell me everything. And they lean in really close to you, and that makes you also feel closer. So if you want to be seen as higher in warmth, you can do this as a speaker. So you can lean in as you bold an important point. Like when I'm making an important point for you, I lean into it. I'm like, listen to this. This is good. But if I'm listening to you and you say something good, I'll be like, what? Really? Mm-hmm. So you can do it as a speaker and as a listener, and it immediately adds more warmth.
It's funny, okay, this might be a little bit of a tangent, but it just came to mind as you were speaking. There are like the odd person in my life who I've known for many, many years, but whenever I'm around them, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. My body is just off. And like, I just don't know what it is. Like, I'm thinking of one particular person, I shan't name, where I could be in a room full of people and I'm relaxed, I'm calm, whatever. And this person who I've known for many, many years, the minute they arrived in the room, I wouldn't be able to be the same person. And I don't know what it is. Like I'd suddenly start overthinking my body language, and I'd start thinking, it's how's my legs and it's my body. And I'd start blocking a little bit. What is that trying to tell me? Do I need to cut this person out of my life? Is there like words unspoken? What is it?
I would say it means do more research. I think that gut feelings are incredibly important because, the best cue reading machine we have is our subconscious, right? Our subconscious or unconscious is picking up on lots of cues that we can't consciously know. We can't consciously know that we're smelling adrenaline, but we are smelling it. So I think that's a very important thing to pay attention to. It doesn't mean you should cut them out, but I think it's time to do more research. Are they truly happy for you? Are they truly rooting for you? Are they secretly angry or jealous?
Maybe I'm doing it to them.
It's possible that you're in a loop with them. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're expecting that bad thing and that expectation becomes reality. Like they've studied this, that the Pygmalion effect is real. If you expect not to like someone, you send off more unlikable cues. They feel unliked, and so they don't like you either. And so it could be that you're in a loop with this person that maybe you make them feel the same way.
What do I have to do then next time I see them? Because I want to dial up, I don't know, some warmth with this person or something, or break that cycle.
Okay, if I were you, they're important to you?
Yeah, they're important to me. Yeah.
Okay, so I would recommend asking questions that will level you up with them to level 2. So my guess is you might be stuck in level 1 with them because you're obviously uncomfortable with them. Research shows that the more commonalities we have someone, the more that we understand them, the more compassion we have with them, the more that we like someone. So I wonder if we could level up your relationship with them so that you get to know them better, which means you'll like them more. And if you make it through these 6 or 7 questions and you still don't like them, then maybe they're not your person. Okay, can I give you some questions for them?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So here are my favorite, I call these level 1, level 2, level 3 questions. In the framework that I'm researching right now, it's not done yet, I have 4 questions for each level, and I'm working through these questions. But here are the questions that I think are the shortcut to connection.
Okay.
That if you ask these questions with your partner, your friend, your colleagues, you're gonna level up with them. Okay, first, are you working on anything exciting recently? So stop asking, what do you do? Stop asking, how are you? Stop asking, how's it going? That's why you hate people. If you're asking those questions, of course you're gonna hate people. Those are the most boring questions anyone's ever asked. Can I give you a challenge?
Yeah.
A challenge. Here's one challenge from this podcast. Stop asking, what do you do? For 30 days, I want you to go on a what do you do diet. Asking what do you do is telling the other person's brain, stay on autopilot.
Damn, I asked that last
I know.
night.
No more. We're on a diet.
Okay.
Also asking someone, what do you do, is asking, what are you worth? And if someone's not defined by what they do, it's actually a rude question.
Do you know what? You're so right. But it's so funny you say this because yesterday I went to this thing in New York, right? And I was introducing myself to some people, and there was one particular person who I went over to, and we were having a conversation. And halfway through the conversation, I went, so what do you do? And do you know what they replied? They went, this. And I went home thinking about it. Like, I was like, of course, we're fucking at work. Like, what I've done there is I've just belittled what we're doing right now as if it couldn't possibly have been what they do.
Right.
And I honestly, I got in bed last night thinking about it. I thought, oh God, do you know what it was? I think I was so impressed by them that I was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And then that just came out mid-sentence. What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we're going on a diet. Everyone for the next 30 days, we're going on a diet. No more what do you do. You're going to replace it with working on anything exciting these days or working on anything exciting recently. This is permission connection. You ask someone that question, you are giving them permission. If they want to tell you about what they do, oh, they will. Mm-hmm. If they are not defined by what they do, they'll tell you something better. And that also gives you really good nuggets for the next time you see them when you can say, hey, how was that thing you were working on that was really exciting going? So start with working on anything exciting these days, working on anything exciting right now. Second, what's your biggest goal right now? So if you can, especially as we go into the new year, or in the new year, right, beginning part of the year, I ask this question in December, January, and February. I ask everyone, what's your biggest goal right now? What's your big goal for 2025? When you ask this question, you're going to get one of 2 responses. One, someone shuts you down. Yeah. I don't believe in goals. Not my person. not my person. I'm a growth-minded person. If someone says that, I'm like, cool, peace. We're not going to get along very well because I have a lot of goals. Or they're going to be like, oh, let me tell you. And they're going to tell you all about goals. That's also a great thing you can follow up on, because then when you see them a month later or a week later or a year later, you can be like, hey, how did that go?
It's a great interview question.
It's a great.
I was just thinking that I should ask people that in the interview, because
trademark.
Yeah, no, because you're right. Someone that can't articulate some kind of goal is probably not my kind of person. Those kind of people that go, actually, those kind of people don't listen to this podcast anyway.
Right.
They just leave
They're
like,
not
hate
here.
comments and fuck up. Like, so.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's a very, I call those allergy questions.
Interesting.
It's a way to see, are we going to have an allergic reaction to each other? It creates an allergy. Like, I know there's a type of person, it susses them out really quickly, and that's not my kind of person. Okay, so working on anything exciting, what's your goal right now? And then this is harder. This is a self-narrative question. Do we want to go deeper for a self-narrative question?
Of course we want to go deeper.
So if we're getting into self-narrative and you're trying to figure out yourself or someone else's narrative, you want to ask the question. It sounds innocuous, but it's not. What book, movie, or TV character is most like you, and why? It's kind of a silly, like, dinner party question. It's like, sort of sounds casual, but the answer to this question is so incredibly important. And here's an example. How someone relates to characters, their values or personality, is how they see themselves. And people's answers will shock you. I'll give you one example. I was friends with someone for 6 years. One of my closest friends. Saw them all the time. Weekends. We went on outings together. We went on weekend trips together. I thought I knew her so well. I was like, I know her. I asked her this question, and I hypothesized, this is all my research for my next book. I was like, I hypothesized she's a mom of 3, super funny, super savvy. I was like, she's gonna pick a great, like, TV mom character, you know, that's super savvy and funny. Asked her. She thinks about it for maybe 1 second and goes, Katniss Everdeen's from the Hunger Games. I was like, the one who's, like, fighting for her life? She's like, yeah, that's how I feel every day. And we, for the first time in 6 years, had a conversation about how she feels about her day that was totally different than anything I had ever known. That she feels scared and lonely, and that she is fighting for survival. And it was the first time that I truly connected with her. I cannot tell you how many times the answer to this question has changed for people in my life. And I'm like, careful which examples to use because I'm worried that they're going to be watching, but has changed my relationship with people in my life based on how they see themselves. Not how I see them, but how they see themselves.
It's really interesting because there's so many people listening right now that are now doing that. And they're discovering, maybe for the first time, even how they see themselves. Because it's funny, because when you said that, obviously I did it in my head. And I was like, fuck.
Well, now I want to know what it is. Will you tell me after?
Like stereotypically. No, I'll tell you now. I was thinking, it's funny because the first person I thought of was Will Smith, because people say I look like him sometimes, right? So
yes.
like people when I go to
events
and
you have to
stuff.
correct someone. If someone says who they look like, you say, oh, no, who you look like, values, personality. Yeah.
But then when I thought about TV characters, I actually thought about Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. And if you think about his journey, he was broke and he was fighting really hard to get out of that situation. And he got out of that situation. So it goes back to the personality type you described at the beginning, where like you think you're hero of your own journey, like where you've overcome something and you're, that's kind of, yeah.
And do you feel you've found it?
Found
it. Happiness? Are you at the end of the movie?
I'm at the end of the movie. I don't know if you can ever get to the end of the movie. That's why I was struggling with that question. Because there's...
Like, I think I found it.
But I've always... I don't know.
Like, not the end of your movie. It's not the end of your life movie. But, like, in that example, we could have a long discussion about, like, what is... have you made it?
So the reason why I think I'm hesitating is because I think to myself, if I say I've made it or if I'm at the end of the movie, then I'm like, it kind of robs me of the future in a weird way. In my head, it's like robbing me of like doing anything else with my future.
No, because
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes. If you feel like
the end of the movie, I'm like, oh God, like I've got.
Yes, no, that's true. You're never at the end of the movie, but like if you feel that you've made it, it means that you have freedom to pursue things and do work for meaning, as opposed to hitting it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I used to work in call centers at nighttime selling hotel rooms and car insurance and artificial grass. And now I get to sit here and have conversations with people like you and like people tune in and stuff. It's like, if I don't realize at this moment how much privilege I have, I think I'd be I'd be pretty fucked up. So yeah, I do feel like disproportionate, like unbelievably fortunate in a way that I actually don't think I can understand. I think maybe I dreamed of this, but to be here feels suspicious.
Suspicious?
Yeah, there's a strange word that came to mind.
Yes.
It feels suspicious because I don't know, you just think sometimes you think.
Are you worried?
Maybe it is worry, but it's also just like, surely not. Like, it's so interesting because I had the dream of like being successful in business, but I didn't have a dream of or ever imagine that my life would be like this. Where like people know who you are. I never had that dream. Never imagined it being possible. That was other people.
For sure.
And so
also, I that's a very accurate, like that's how I think of Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. A little bit is like, you never really see him truly happy in that movie.
No, he's always just, running.
Like that's something that that's why I asked, like, did you get it? You know, you pursued it, you're here.
Of course I'm still chasing after something, aren't I?
That's what I think.
Fucking hell. I don't know what I'm chasing after.
I wonder what you're chasing after. I don't know.
I actually don't know.
But I think that you're interviewing for something. Like when I watch your interviews, which are amazing, I'm like, he's trying to find the answer to something. What is it?
Always. Like with every person, it's
sure.
a different thing. And actually, most of the answers I'm looking for are my own answers. And my general belief is that if I like authentically go in search of my own answers, which requires some level of like being open and willing to be open, even though there's a lot of people watching, then there'll be lots of other people out there that are struggling with the same things or searching for the same answers as well.
Yes.
This is interesting. I do ask myself a lot, what's the point? Like, what am I? But is it not this is a bit of a tangent, obviously. Is it not the case that we should all be searching forever? Like, we should all be in pursuit of something forever.
I do love a quest, and I love pursuing, and I think humans are built to pursue things. But I also think, I hope, and I'm not here yet, I'm getting there, that there's a point in our life where we can stop the grind. Like, I think I'm grinding a little bit in my career. I don't know if you feel like that. Like, I've made it. I feel like I've made it. I'm luckier than I can't believe I get paid to do what I do, but I'm still pursuing. I hope there's a point in my life where I can just be sharing wisdom, where I'm not pursuing anything. It's not a number or a list it's just like all I'm doing is sharing wisdom and giving out public education. Like, I think that I'm hopeful that there's a stage of our life where it's just that.
It's number 5 on the one.
My gosh.
We did lean, which
Yes.
is number 4.
Number 5 is...
Actually, I have to pause on lean because I wanted to ask you about something I read in a book about peacocking.
Yes.
So I read in this pickup artist book that I read when I was 18, and some of the videos that I watched thereafter, and some of the other books that I read thereafter, and some of the other videos I watched thereafter, about this concept of peacocking where you can, if you're like on a date or you're interested in a girl or a guy in a bar, if you lean in too much, you're signaling low value and like over interest. And ever since I learned that, I've seen it everywhere. And I've seen it in my friends. Me and my friends went to like Marbella or somewhere, I can't remember. It was many, many years ago. And there was this beautiful girl there. And we were all pursuing her. Yes, like that, like a Labrador.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my boys, there's actually a photo of it on my phone. There's me, Dom, and my friend Ash sat there. And we're looking over at some of our other friends. And we're saying, they're peacocking, they got no chance. And that's how the story transpired. And then when this beautiful girl came over to my other friend, he was aware of this peacocking thing. He kept his neck back. He kept his chest back, all these kinds of things. He didn't lean in, even though it was loud. And closed.
Okay. Here's why. Too much of a lean is a bad thing. It's called a bow, right? If you lean too far over, you get very quickly into bowing or submissive behavior. We don't like people who are submissive to us. We want equals. And so you're absolutely right. What triggers in the brain if you're leaning too much is literally, I am subservient to you. And that makes someone who does not want to be in control or in an unequal relationship feel very uneasy. So that is why too much of a lean, always with these nonverbal cues, too much of a good thing. You lean too much, it's considered a bow. You also don't want to lean the entire time because then you look like a hunchback, right?
I'm lowering my value by leaning in too much.
And it's distracting. Like, I want to lean in as a bold or a highlight. If I were to be reading a book and highlight the entire page, the highlight means nothing. If you lean in when someone's like, what? Really? And then I lean back, then it's powerful. Every single one of these cues we are using as a bold or an emphasis or a highlight. Just enough of a good thing.
Okay. Not too much leaning. Just use it as a party trick. I mean just use it like infrequently.
As a highlighter.
Okay,
As a highlighter.
Okay,
You're
cool.
highlighting.
Got you.
Yes.
Fine. Number 5.
Okay, 5, nonverbal bridge. So this is a concept that I learned on the road. So I saw this in action in a lot of our experiments. We did a big speed networking experiment in our lab where we had 500 speed networkers try out different conversation starters. We recorded them, we coded their conversations, and we looked for patterns of good and bad conversations. And we found there were certain questions that worked better than others, and there were certain questions that did terribly. And one thing we found is that when people rated a conversation on a 5 scale, like 5 amazing, best conversation I had, we're going to connect on LinkedIn, I think I like them, the best ones, they used a lot of nonverbal bridges. Nonverbal bridges are when someone is trying to bridge the distance between you. So that could be a lean. Lean is one of them, but it also could be a reach out. We noticed that in the good conversations, people were trying to physically close the distance between them with hand gestures, with leans, with nods, with foot movement, with drinks. And when they were close enough, they would often do very light touches on the arms and on the shoulder. So have you seen this like on a really good date? Have you ever been in a restaurant? Like my husband and I like to play this game where we look and we try to guess if a couple is
Yes.
very like new couple, old couple, how they're doing. In a very good date, they are looking for as many opportunities to touch as they possibly can. That's a nonverbal bridge. So even if I were to be like, oh, let me tell you something, like that slight reach out, tap of the knuckles, tap of the arm, that's a quick saying, I'm going to reach into your intimate zone, but I'm not going into your intimate zone. And really good relationships, really warm people are those, they are bridging all the time. They walk by you, they touch your shoulder, they say, how's it going? Hey, I was thinking about you. Like they're constantly doing these very small bridges, and that might not be actual a physical touch. It could even be the look of a touch. Like one thing that I teach my students who are uncomfortable with touch is you can even touch without touching. That sounds really weird, but like put your arm closer to me so I can demo it for you. So let's pretend that we're at dinner. I could be like, oh my gosh, really?
Okay, so you didn't touch me,
I
you
didn't
like
touch
hovered above my hand.
but it did the same thing.
Yeah.
Not quite oxytocin.
No, but it kind of did.
Yeah, but kind of, you were like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
She's trying to close the intimacy of the distance. So nonverbal bridges, trying to reach out, reach into someone's space very briefly and come back, trying to lean into someone's space very briefly. This is why giving people things or serving people is such a warm thing. You hand someone a drink, like you come to my office, I offer you hot chocolate, I offer you tacos, I want to break the social scripts, I want to give you something different, and I'm looking for reasons to serve you.
You give people tacos at your office?
Yeah. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Strange.
You would like it. You would like it. If you were hungry,
I would like
you'd be
it.
like, give me that taco.
I would like it, but
give me that taco.
I don't know if that's office food, but each to their own. So hugging and stuff like that, there's this thing that people talk a lot about, which is awkward hugging. And sometimes you hug someone and you just feel like, oh God, they didn't like that. I didn't like that. That was bad for both of us.
Yeah, horrible. Can we address the hug issue?
Please.
Okay. You need to signal what kind of greeting you want from the moment someone first sees you. You can stop awkward greetings from happening with simple nonverbal cues. Here's what they are. You want a handshake? So good to see you. I want you to be doing this from 10 feet away. So good to see you.
Oh, come in with it.
Yeah, you're literally
far.
signaling to someone, so good to see you,
Okay.
right? This immediately signals their brain, don't try to give me an awkward hug. Don't side hug me, don't hug me, we're handshaking. It is a very clear way to be like, it's called blading. So we angle our body a little bit forward and we put one hand out. You know I'm coming in for a handshake. If you want a hug and you're a hugger, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Okay, arms out.
Arms out. And that's also going to prevent the awkward side hug. The worst thing you can do is like this.
Which is a kind of but.
One arm up. People are like, who? Do I shake it? Do I side hug? Are we gonna hug? Are we gonna high five? Are we gonna fist bump? If you want a fist bump, you're coming in with a fist bump from
Should
very
I be
far
a
away.
hugger? Because or is it context dependent?
I do not like hugging people when I first meet them. I was pitching a TV show about recovering awkward people at a very big network, and I walk into the pitch room, and at that point, I was a hugger. Or I thought I should hug because that was one of the things in LA. LA people are huggers and cheek kissers a lot. And so I was like, I walk into the room and I say, oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm a hugger.
Oh, yeah.
And the exec goes, I'm not.
Oh.
Just cringe.
Oh, God.
I died inside. And you know what? That pitch went terribly. Do I have a TV show called Recovering Awkward Person? No, I don't. That's because I think I hugged him. And I went forward with it.
Too much warmth.
Too much warmth.
Not enough competence.
And so I will never do that again. So now I never, ever say I'm a hugger, and I always offer my hand. Now, if someone says to me, oh, but I'm a hugger, and they wave my hand away, no problem. No problem.
That's interesting. If we take that back to the charisma framework of warmth and competence, it is signaling a little bit too much.
A lot of warmth. It's a lot of warmth. And I know a lot about a person when they tell me, I'm a hugger.
What do you know? Go
High
on,
warmth.
say it.
High warmth, probably a people pleaser, overeager, really want to connect, probably feel lonely, a little bit afraid, and I want to make them feel as liked as possible.
Gosh, that's a lot just from that one sentence.
I've hugged a lot of people.
No, it is.
Also, I have amazing students. We have millions of views on our YouTube channel, and they feel like they know me. And so if they want to hug me, I'm totally okay with it. Because I've been in their bed, I've been in their living room, I've been in their kitchen TV, on their phone. I've shared my stories with them, and I understand why they want to hug me because we feel like friends. And that actually is a compliment.
And you like it?
I do like it. Like when a student says, oh my gosh, I love you, I love Captivate. I'm like, come here. It feels like a friend.
So on the hugging point then as well, is there a great way to hug someone?
I mean, yeah.
How is that?
Have you been told you're a good hugger? Because then you might not be.
I've tried to work on it. So I think I am now.
Okay.
I actually have been told I am.
Okay, good.
But it's part of the reason why is because I've learned a lot from doing this podcast, and someone told me don't tap on the back.
Don't tap on the back.
And they told me to
we don't like being tapped on the head. We don't like being tapped on the back. It's a submissive cue, right? It's like you'll notice power players in politics will sometimes demean someone by going, hey, bud.
Yeah.
So we definitely don't hug. So you're going to want to approach equally. You don't want any kind of asymmetry in your hug, right? So that's why you want to approach someone like this, like no asymmetry, none of this, straight on. So this is hard. If you are taller than the person, you typically want to go up. But you want to avoid who's going up, right? So the taller person should always try to go up. And you want to literally angle up. The lower person's going to angle down. And you're going to try to go torso to torso.
Okay.
And I like a 2-second hug. By the way, there is research on the length of handshakes. I haven't seen research on the length of hugs. But a handshake should be between 1 and 3 pumps and 1 and 3 seconds. So for example, we're looking at 1, 2, 3. That's good. And typically they found that if we do a 3-second shake, it's with a new person. So our first shake was about 3 seconds because we didn't know each other. But if I were to see you again, oh, it's so good to see you. That's a little faster.
You do. Okay.
So typically, if you already know someone, you're just doing a quick reading, it's a 1 second. And if you don't know someone, it's a 3 second.
What if I... Your face as I got to 4 seconds. You were offended. You're not my person. You were you cussed me out with your eyes.
Yeah, it was horrible. That's how I feel.
What is he giving my arm back?
You also want to make sure that when you're doing a handshake, you're offering thumb up. Thumb up is really important. You'll notice certain political power players will they'll flip you.
Oh, Donald Trump.
Yes.
And he really pulls.
And he'll pull you. He'll pull you off. I've never shaken hands with him, so I don't know. But I've watched many a video, and he'll shake your hand, turn you up. It's a very vulnerable place to be. We don't like it as humans to have these arteries up. So he'll flip. So he'll flip, and then he'll pull you off there.
It doesn't feel good, does it? But what does that signal? Does that signal competence and strength?
No, I don't think it's either. I actually think it's a danger zone cue.
Okay.
Because it's purposely, none of the cues I teach are manipulative in that way. That is purposely trying to get someone off balance, to give them disequilibrium. I like relationships to be equal. That's why I want you to offer thumb up. I also don't want you to offer your hand up, where you're saying, I'm going to be submissive to you. We don't like that, right? So thumb up.
I can't remember where I learned it, but I learned that if you cup, then it's signaling warmth. So
absolutely.
I was going to cup earlier on, but I was holding some stuff. I remember thinking, I'll walk out there and I'll cup.
Why did I get my cup?
Because I was holding all your books. So if
it is warm.
I was holding your books. I was I can't imagine if I tried to cup with your books. I was
it would
be so strange.
No, so cupping is really warm. It's double the warmth. It's double the oxytocin. It's like a hand hug. So it's super high in warmth. It's also called the politician's handshake. So you only want to do it if you are truly and genuinely trying to show warmth. Otherwise, it can come across as forced.
Okay.
I also, speaking of weird signals, I've heard this about men, that men to men have 2 different kinds of nods. Tell me if you think this is true. So if you walk down the hallway and you see a man you know, you go, hey, nod up. If you see a man you don't know, you go, morning, and you nod down.
Oh, that's interesting.
And supposedly it's because a person you know, you're willing to expose this part of your neck, but if you don't know someone, you want to keep your chin down, but you're still acknowledging them. Is that true?
Well, do you know what's funny is the way that I think about it is if I see a black guy out and about,
pretty
much anywhere, and they know me, whatever, they'll typically do that.
Up.
There's something about I don't know if I'm just making this up, but there's something about like being part of, I can see them from across the room, have no idea who they are. And
in group.
It's like
I see you.
Me and you are
and I trust
boys.
you. It's a way of being like, I'm willing to expose this. I trust you.
Oh, okay. So interesting. Interesting.
So I've noticed that women don't do that.
Okay. So
that's
yes. Nod down is
I see you.
Stranger. Okay.
Morning.
So interesting.
Noted.
So interesting. So interesting. I'm a CEO. I do speaking on stage. You speak on stage as well. You're very, very good at it. Is there anything that I should know if I'm a leader in a business or I'm a public speaker that I should be thinking most about when I'm up on stage to signal, I don't know, whatever I want to signal to get whatever I want?
Yes. Purposeful movement. A big mistake I see CEOs make on stage is they either don't have purposeful movements, so they pace the stage back and forth, or they're stuck in one point and they don't move from that point and it makes them look very stiff. I believe you should block your speeches, just very subtly. So for example, I always, when I deliver, I start in the middle of the stage. Always, always. So when I'm being introduced, right, your first few seconds on stage is the most important for your entire talk. So as you're being introduced, you walk on stage, pick a point and walk purposefully to it. Don't meander onto stage. You're walking right to the middle of the stage or the left of the stage, however you pick, and you're delivering your first opening lines, opening story in that middle point. That's where I like it. And that intention walking on stage is going to make you look so much more confident and not disorganized or ambiguous. Then, if you can, this is for the advanced speaker and this is you, I think, you want to help your audience with your stage movement. So in my presentations, when I'm sharing science or fact or research, I'm on the left-hand side of the stage. When I'm moving to personal story, gifts, anecdotes, or a funny video, I'm on the right side of the stage. That is a way I'm helping my audience organize and categorize my talks. I've also noticed in the audience, there are highly warm people and there are highly competent people. I've noticed if I train them that way, if I'm doing a 60-minute keynote, they begin to subconsciously recognize it. My highly competent folks perk right up. When I get to the left side of the stage, oh, this is for me. And my highly warm folks are like, my turn. And it really helps them know when to pay the most attention. So you should think about, for your talks, you also can do this chronologically. So some of my students are like TED speakers and they're telling more of a chronological story as opposed to like making points. I will often teach them to start, like when we like to, in Western cultures, we read from left to right. I like them to actually start on the left-hand side of the stage or the audience's left because the beginning of their story starts here. And they share their childhood, there's picture of their childhood on the slide, and they slowly begin to move over to the middle when the middle part of their journey happens. And they finally get to their arc, their knowledge, their aha moment. They've made it over to the far side of the stage, the far right side of the stage.
And in terms of what I'm saying, we talked a little bit about the actual content of what I'm saying, because this applies not just to when I'm on stage, but also to emails and WhatsApps. And I think most of our communication these days is on a screen. So if I'm trying to be a master of structuring a sentence on a screen to set people up for success, okay, what have I got to be thinking about?
What emotion do you want your person to feel when they see your name in their inbox, on stage, in LinkedIn? That is the emotion that you want to label yourself. So, for example, in your talks, like for example, in my talks, I am trying to acknowledge the pain of awkwardness. I don't want people to feel like they are unseen. So when I say you're overlooked, you're misunderstood, you're underestimated, you feel awkward and out of control and anxious and overwhelmed, I hear you, you're not alone, I've been there. And then the solution to that feeling, the where it gets better, is confidence and presence and memorability. And the mechanism is blueprints and formula and hard skills. That helps me gift to the audience a solution emotion. So for you, I would say, what are the pain points you want your audience to resonate with so they feel heard by you, seen by you, understood by you? What's the goal emotion that you want to give them from your talk, from your podcast, from the email that they're subscribing to? And then what's your mechanism? What's your way that you do that?
Imperfection. So imperfection. I was watching a video of yours, I think from 10 years ago, where you were sat with two lovely people talking about charisma. And one of the things you said early in the video is that I think it was like TV shopping or something like that, where like a lady made a mistake.
Smoothie.
She like
Yes.
spilled a milkshake or something.
Yes.
And she did more sales because she spilled a milkshake?
Yes, that's it.
Explain this to me.
Yes, another study by Dr. Richard Wiseman, who wanted to know, do you have to be perfect? Which for many years, I wanted to be perfect. And then I realized, oh, there is no such thing as perfect, and I don't want to be that way. Very simple. He had a model selling a blender in a mall. And in one version, she had the perfect pitch. And now take your strawberries and your bananas and just hit the button, and here you have perfect smoothies. In the second one, he had same smoothie, same pitch, same verbal, but she spills the smoothie on the table as she's pouring it. People bought more of the blender when she spilled the smoothie. Now, does this mean I want you to purposely spill your smoothies? No. I did have a piece of kale in my teeth earlier, and I really considered coming in with it just to see what would happen.
You were joking.
I didn't. I did think about it, but I didn't do it. But I do think there's like, stop trying to be perfect. Own your authentic vulnerabilities. Don't purposely smell a smoothie. Don't purposely spill your coffee. By the way, that experiment was repeated with coffee and job interviews. If I remember correctly, they had an audio clip and hirers were rating job candidates on performance. And in one of the audio clips, they had him spill his coffee. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. I spilled my coffee. Let's get that. And then go back to the interview. And they rated that candidate as a better candidate, even though he spilled his coffee.
Why?
It's called the other shoe effect. We know that no one's perfect. We know this. It's impossible. And so when we're interacting with someone, even on a commercial, even an interview, we're like, what's wrong with you? What is your imperfection? And it kind of distracts us. This research, the other shoe effect, found that the longer the interview goes on without something dropped, like without the other shoe to drop, the more the interviewer is like, what's going on here? And the more they'll try to ask questions to try to find it. You are better off in an interview or on a date dropping your shoe. So sharing whatever that vulnerability or imperfection is closer to the start of the interview or the date, because it helps the other person, A, get to know you better, but also not be so worried that they're not seeing your true imperfection. Captivate, when I first wrote it, my intro was really, really boring. And my publisher, I love her, Nikki, my editor, wrote back and she's like, Vanessa, your intro doesn't sound like you. It sounds like you're trying to be something you're not. And she was right. I was trying to sound like an academic researcher. I'm not an academic researcher. I'm a behavior researcher. I'm a pop scientist. I'm a recovering awkward person. She's like, start with that. So the opening line of Captivate is, hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm a recovering awkward person. That is why that book hit the bestseller list. I dropped the shoe. Yes, I teach charisma. Yes, I teach body language. I am still in recovery. I am still constantly worried that people hate me. I have a small and wonderful group of friends, but otherwise people make me still nervous. I know how to deal with it. I know how to make conversation. But I want you to know there's still awkwardness here. No matter how many of these you learn, you're probably still going to face awkwardness and overwhelm, but at least it will be a little bit easier. So I think it's really important that we plan to share our imperfections and not try to hide it.
I read a study from your work that said, in a study to see how men and women look at body language differently, they put people in an MRI machine and had them try and read body language from just pictures alone. What happened? What did they find out?
So I believe women activated 14 to 16 areas of their brain activated while trying to read those body language pictures. And men, I believe it was half of that. In other words, when women were looking at pictures of body language, lots of connections were happening. They were making predictions. They were thinking about personality. They were thinking about emotions. They were looking at their clothes. They were looking at their facial structure. Women were taking in a much broader picture of the body language, whereas men were, I think, much more cue-focused. Broad shoulders, feet apart, hands visible. Neither of these are right or wrong. Actually, in fact, men can sometimes be easier to teach. Like my students are 50-50 men and women, but sometimes men can focus in on the cue that I'm trying to teach them. They can understand it. They can comprehend it. Got it. It's decoded. Women tend to create a whole narrative. So I play games sometimes with my students where I say, okay, tell me about someone. He has a mohawk. And men will often say that, I don't let them hear the women first. Men will often be like, he has a mohawk. He's a man. He's not bald. Women will be like, okay, he's a bad boy and he probably has earrings and I bet you he drives a motorcycle and I bet he'd be really fun on a date, but probably a drinker. And they will just go.
Interesting.
So it's good and bad, right? Like that also can hinder women. And by the way, I'm making big generalizations on this. This is not the the generalization part we have to make sure we're careful on. Women tend to globalize a cue. Like they'll see a cue and be like, oh, that means he's bad or that means he's dangerous. He's toxic. I'm never going to talk to him again. Yeah. Whereas men will sometimes, oh, it's probably just a bad day, or I'll give her or him a second chance. So we just have to be a little bit aware of our own lenses, we'll say.
Is there anything else that I should say to my friend in order to help them? Because sometimes I wonder, there's tips, tricks, tactics, they can lean, they can do this, whatever. But is there something deeper that is easier? And do you know why I say this? That book, The Game, I went off to university, I lasted for one lecture. But while I was there, I met this guy called Joe. My friend, I won't say his second name because people will identify him, but I met my friend Joe. And I said to Joe, listen, my friend, I said, this book, The Game, really useful, taught me a lot about interpersonal dynamics. You should read it. Gave the book to him. He read it. We went out to the club that day. He fucked it up. Like he went out there. He started negging people, insulting people, whatever.
Negging. And
I just thought, God, you just can't teach it. That's what I thought. I thought there's so many. And actually, when I reflect on the people in my life, this guy called Dan, I'll say his name, Dan Capon. Dan Capon in school was always just so good with the opposite sex. He was just always, he's one of those people. He's charismatic. He was funny.
Yeah.
He's like that cocky funny.
Yeah.
Just a natural. No one taught him that.
Yeah.
And so I look at my friend Joe, I look at my friend Dan, I go, it doesn't matter if you read the book, because I'm not saying your book's amazing. Everyone needs to go read your book. No, they really do. It's a great book. But I'm saying, is there something deeper within us? Like for my friend that has the shriveled posture.
Yeah.
Is it just like tactics and tips?
I think anyone can learn it.
Okay.
I really, truly believe that. I have seen the most awkward, uncomfortable people totally shut down, slowly transform, or completely transform. And remember, who is your uncharismatic friend? What was the fake first name you used?
He's not uncharismatic. I just gave him the book and he just like...
Who is Joe?
Joe,
okay.
Yeah.
Joe doesn't need to have a complete transformation to find his soulmate. Joe does not need to have a complete transformation to have friends. You're his friend. So even if he has a couple of tactics, like stop asking, what do you do? It's boring. Mm-hmm. Like start making eye contact, especially at the end of sentences, for 60-70% of the time. Oh, people suddenly feel listened to. Hey, ask better questions to your friends. You'll get to know them better. Those tactics will get him friendships, hopefully a girlfriend, hopefully a job. So I think that everyone can make small or big changes. I don't think there's anyone who's unteachable.
Do you think there's a relationship between these tactics and tips and your actual confidence? I.e., does it become like a self-reinforcing?
Yes, so much so. Like, that is the only way I found confidence. The only way that I was able to conquer my awkwardness and actually begin to go out and try to make friends and be less lonely. I mean, I was so lonely, was that I was like, okay, I have a goal. I'm going to ask someone, what have you been doing that's been exciting recently? I'm going to ask that question. That gave me just enough confidence to get out the door and to get to that party. And then when I got a good answer, someone's like, oh yeah, I am working on something exciting. I was like, oh. And then they felt excited, I felt excited. And so like that one tool gave me enough confidence to go out. So these tools give you confidence to try something new and to break your pattern. If you feel stuck, and this is for anyone, if you feel stuck, then you have to try something different. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same thing. So that means you have to ask different kinds of questions. You have to use different kind of body language cues. And if you're willing to try just something different, something will change for you.
Are these cues, this body language, more important for one gender typically than the other?
Not that I've seen. The research has not found that. Good for both.
And in terms of attraction, what is, do you think, the most important thing? Is it competent? Is it strong? Is it...
Okay, so this is research. So I believe it was Monica Moore who did this research. She found that the people who got approached the most at clubs, the people who got approached the most, had the biggest signal of availability. So they weren't the most attractive men and women. She did this for both men and women. They were not the most attractive men and women. In fact, the most attractive women in the room, if they had closed off body language, they were not approached, they did not get dates, they did not get out their number. It was the men and women who signaled, I'm available.
How do you signal I'm available?
Okay, so this is really important for dating in the sense of wanting to be approached. Dating one-to-one is a little bit different, right? You don't need to signal this if you're one-to-one. But if you're in a big room or you're speed networking, one is open body, no blocking. I never want anything in front of your torso. I don't want this. I don't want arms crossed. I don't want cup in front of you. I don't want you clutching your computer or your iPad or your phone. I want you to make sure that your torso is open and angled out towards the room. I like croissant feet. Parallel feet are like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
In a dating situation, I want you to have croissant feet, which is your feet are angled toward the biggest part of the room, saying, I'm open, come and approach me.
Okay.
That signals to both men and women, oh, maybe that person is literally physically open to someone coming in and breaking this conversation. It also means small, darting glances to everyone around the room.
Everyone?
Everyone you want to approach you.
Oh, everyone you want to approach you?
Yeah.
How many times does someone got to do a glance to get someone to come over?
So Monica Moore actually studied this. I believe it took 8 glances to get someone to approach. Don't quote me on that. It was way higher than I thought. Like, I was like 2, maybe 3. I think it was something insane like 8. Could you imagine being in a bar and looking at someone 8 times? That's how many times it took to get that person to come over. And these are quick glances, not like, right? It's a side glance. It's a side glance and a smile. It's a flip of the hair and a look over, right? Those are the kind of glances that we're talking about. And it takes 8 sometimes. So croissant feet, open body, quick, short glances. I would also try one of my secret tricks for daters is generally gesturing in their direction. So let's see like there's a hot guy right over there that I can see.
Sure.
I've been married for 18 years, just to be clear.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want, okay, you dropped something.
You called him hot. You called him hot. He's freaking out.
Okay, so there's a hot guy right over there that I want to see. And I'm talking to you. I might make some quick glances over, but I also might, like when I'm gesturing, I'm sort of gesturing towards them. So I'm on their line of gesturing. So like if I'm gesturing out, I'm making a gesture for them to literally come over. Like I'm like gesturing and then I'm like, I want them to like literally come over. I'm sort of gesturing, but I'm talking, but I'm open gesturing.
Interesting.
It works.
It works.
If they are attracted to you at all, they will come over. If they don't come over, they're probably not attracted to you. Try someone else.
What about men? How do men
same.
signal in this?
Oh, sorry. Same. So like a man can do the same thing. Now, women are less likely to approach men in a crowded environment. Culturally, that's not as accepted. So it's going to be harder for a man to get a woman to come over. But it does work very well for men to warm a woman up that she is about to be approached with those things. Quick glances, open gestures, croissant feet towards her. That way, when you do approach, she knows that your attention has been on her. And look at her responses to your gestures and your glances. If she meets your glance, great. If she turns away from you, turns her feet away from you, she's not probably very receptive to your approach. So it's a good way to kind of test the waters before you actually approach.
It's difficult in this day and age, isn't it, to know if you can roll up on someone because there's a lot of
too cool for school. That's what I see.
And also there's like a big culture now of inappropriate advances.
Yes, but I'm going to be optimistic and say, look, I'm not single, so I know that's different. But I think people are lonely. And I think people so want to meet their person. So if you are actually in person and you're interested in someone, it is such a gift to go up to someone and be like, hey, I like you. I saw you across the room.
Do you know, I think I said this on 1 or 2 podcasts before, but I didn't really get an answer from anybody. I had this kid at this event that I spoke at.
Okay.
And he was in the front row. And it really moved me because it made me realize that there's so many people out there, especially in the world we live in now in 2024, 2025 or whatever, who want friends. You just said loneliness, right?
Yes.
They want to make a friend.
Yes.
And it's so weird. This kid stood up, bless him, in this talk I was doing, and he put his hands up in the air, and there's 1,000 people around him. It was this talk I did in Canary Wharf in London, which is like, it's like New York of London. It's like really, really busy. They're all wearing suits, these kids, because they work in this city. And he stood up and he went, my question is, how do I make friends?
Oh.
And you can imagine the guts it takes to say that in front of a room of 1,000 people that are your age.
Amazing.
He went, how do I make friends?
What'd you say?
What,
do you have any friends?
Do I have any friends? I have a couple, not many.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's funny because what I actually said, it took me off guard. But what I ended up saying was, what you just did is how you make friends. You know what I'm saying? So like that willingness to be vulnerable in that way. Because I said, I know what's going to happen after I finish on stage here and walk off. People are going to come up to you.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a framework for how to make friends as adults.
Okay.
I think it's really important. I think it's somehow unacceptable in our society to approach friendship like dating, but that's how we should think about it. Is meeting 2 or 3 amazing people is so important for your health, for your happiness, for your success, it is so important to date your friends. Like, that is incredibly important. One of my best friends is Cody Sanchez because she is incredibly inspiring, incredibly smart, incredibly funny. But I dated a lot of people in Austin, a lot of girls in Austin to find her. I know she did too. It was my Bachelorette for Friends era where I was looking for girlfriends. And we just like hit it off, and like we've been able to grow our businesses together. So one is you should change your mindset. Finding friends is like dating. You are looking for your friend's soulmate. And then you should approach those friends just like you would a potential partner. You want someone with similar values. You want someone who activates the same neural networks as you. They like the same activities. And you want someone who you test it out. You would never move in with a friend or never move with someone who just started dating. Same thing with a friend. You don't want to get too close too fast. So I highly recommend go on friendship dates, and you want them to be different every time. Take them to places that you love and try to make them a little bit allergic. So for example, there's a place, this is gonna sound crazy, but it works. So there's a place in Austin called Casa de Luz, if anyone's been there in Austin, and it's a vegan hippie spot. It's been there forever. And you go in and it's one meal, you can't customize it, and they plop it down on your tray and you eat it like a cafeteria food. And I love it. And I love taking really high maintenance women there just to see what they're gonna do. Because the women who are like, can I please get a not a I'm like, we're not gonna be friends. We cannot be friends.
You don't like those people?
Nope.
That modify
That's why I left LA. I mean, you can modify a little bit, but like there's a way that you kind of do it. And here you can't. You literally cannot modify. And so it's interesting to see how people deal with that circumstance. And I found my best, closest friends are like, cool, let's go with it. Like that's a way that I see very into their personality. That's like a very weird story. People are gonna be like, she's so weird. No wonder she doesn't have any friends. True, I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends I love. We go to Casa de Luz all the time. So you should think about activities or places with your friends where you're gonna be able to test out a value or something that you really appreciate in friends.
What if you don't have friends? I'm thinking about this kid, like, and especially if you're a man, because men just struggle more. It actually feels awkward sometimes when.
I make dates for my husband. I have to make friend dates for my husband as well. No, I totally get it. I see it. Activities. So like, where's the place you like to hang out? What's the thing that you do? Is it, axe throwing? Is it going to soccer games? Is it crazy mileage runs? Is it hiking group? Is it pickleball? Like, find the activity you love and then just slowly, just like we're talking about dating, slowly hit them up. Working on anything exciting these days? What's your big goal for 2025? Like, those are the questions the reason I have these questions is they're dating questions, but they're also friendship questions. If you live in that activity for long enough, you'll find your people.
What are you seeing in terms of interpersonal relationship shifts in the sort of 15 years, has it been since you've been
18.
18 years? You must have seen societal level shifts in our interpersonal skills, our friendships, etc. What are you seeing?
AirPods are killing friendship. AirPods are going to ruin our interpersonal interactions. And here's the difference I've seen, the biggest difference in the last 18 years. 18 years ago, you could maybe wear a Walkman around campus or around the city or on a subway, but really your ears were open. And so what would happen is you'd get on the subway or you'd walk across campus or you'd walk down the hallway and someone would be like, hey, Steven, how's it going? Pretty good, crazy week. Oh, really? What you working on? Like, it was so much easier to have those tiny micro moments of connection. That Van Sloan study was done before AirPods, and I wonder if he were to redo it now, what would happen.
Which one was that?
The one where he found the most likable kids had the longest list of people they liked. And in the study, the most likable kids, when he observed them, they were walking down the hallway, saying hello, chatting next to someone for 5 seconds at a locker, staying after class and sort of talking, sitting at the lunch table, leaning over someone, asking about that. So much micro connection, very small conversations. Our friendships don't often happen in these big, deep conversations. They happen in these micro moments. AirPods destroy it. And I see this especially with younger folks because they always have their AirPods in when they're commuting, when they're walking, when they're jogging, when they're at the gym. I don't know about when I was single for 5 seconds when I was 17, the gym was like the place. At the gym, no one really was listening to anything at the gym. At least I can remember, the rare person would have their Walkman in, but everyone was AirPod free. And so there was a lot of micro moments of connection happening. It was so much easier to talk to people. Now, if someone's working out with their AirPods, they're insane. I'm like, what are they doing? They should go home. It's weird. It's weird. Or they're with a friend working out together, and then that's intimidating. So I'm worried about this because we need weak ties. Weak ties are in the research these very casual connections of someone you see at the gym once a week and you kind of know them. Oh yeah, Stephen, nice to see you. You recognize their face that if you were to see them at a restaurant later in the week, you'd be like, hey, don't you go to that gym? Oh yeah, we do. So what are you doing this weekend? Like those weak ties are incredibly important for our happiness. That's how we build big friends. That's how we can find a soulmate. That's how we can make good business contacts. And I'm seeing less and less of that because of AirPods and because of hybrid work. So we're just not in the office that much. So we're having less of those little micro moments in a hallway or that 5 minutes before a meeting starts. The 5 minutes before a meeting start is really critical to your career success. How you talk to your boss, the small talk you make, are you asking boring questions? It's telling your colleagues and your boss a lot about who you are, and it's proven. Likeable people make more money. Likeable people get more promotions. Likeable people have more friends and more friends at work. And so when we have less moments to show how likable we are, it's really hard to get those things.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.